Why it sucks to be a samurai in Sengoku Japan. You're born in Sengoku Japan, Year of the Dragon. Congratulations! You're born to a samurai household, which means your life is written before you can crawl. Your father kneels before a daimyo, a lord who owns land and men, and in turn demands absolute loyalty. Daimyos own most of the land, thus making them prime targets for bandits. So that's where samurai like your father come in. Skilled warrior families swear absolute loyalty to their daimyo, for land and gold, of course. A glorified private security company with one clientele. So your father serves, bleeds, and kills for his daimyo, and you will too. At 5, while other children learn games, you learn obedience. You're taught to kneel without fidgeting, even as your legs burn like fire. At 7, you enter the dojo. No toys, no playmates, just wood floors, splinters, and the sting of bamboo swords cracking against your shoulders. You learn to use the bow, spear, sword, and bare hands. You train until your muscles shake. You meditate until your mind empties. This is not education. This is weapon forging, and you are the steel. You dream of becoming like your father, stern, respected, deadly. But when he leaves for a campaign and doesn't return, you learn the first truth of the samurai life. Honor is paid for in blood. The daimyo praises him as a loyal retainer. You inherit his armor. You don't get to choose this path. You're born into it, and now there's no turning back. A few years pass, and now you're 13 years old. You get a new haircut, a new name, and your father's armor. They press a real sword into your hands. Feels heavier than the wooden one you've spent years dropping and bleeding over. They tell you it's your soul now. Lose it, and you lose yourself. Your daimyo rallies his men. The banners flap like storm clouds on the horizon. You imagine duels. One warrior, one blade. Victory or death decided in the poetry of steel. That's the fantasy, the reality. Chaos, screams, mud and blood mixing underfoot. Horses crash into men, spears pierce ribs, arrows blot out the sky. It's not elegant, it's slaughter. You continue to swing because if you stop, you'll die. Somewhere in the chaos, you'll kill someone. You don't even remember how. Just blood on your blade and a body on the ground. When it's over, you're shaking. The veterans laugh. They've seen it 100 times. You vomit into the dirt. Your daimyo calls you useful. That's enough. For now. That night, you stare at your sword, wondering if you dishonored it by surviving. Your father died in battle, a clean death. You lived through one, and it doesn't feel like honor. It feels like theft. But you stay. Because this is the life you were born into. The years blur together. Sengoku Japan is nothing but warlords clawing at each other's lands, and you are their blade. One season, it's Takeda banners. Next, it's Usugi, then Oda. Always marching, always fighting. You learn how to survive in the chaos. Keep your armor tight, your bowstring dry, your ears open. You stop asking the names of men in your unit. Names don't last. Only scars do. The battles lose their poetry. No glorious duels, just volleys of arrows, walls of spears, ambushes in rice fields. Your hands blister, your knees ache, your back knots with pain from the weight of armor. By 20, you move like an old man. But still, they shove you forward. You cling to Bushido, the samurai code of conduct, because it's all you have. Loyalty, honor, discipline. But even those words taste bitter now. You see men break, some desert, some turn bandit, some slit their bellies rather than fight another hopeless skirmish. You survive. Not because of courage, but because death hasn't chosen you yet. At night, under the banners of your daimyo, you whisper the same prayer. Let me die like my father, with a sword in my hand and my honor intact. Then tragedy strikes. It happens not on the battlefield, but in whispers. Your daimyo is dead, cut down in an ambush, betrayed in a council chamber. The story changes depending on who's telling it. What doesn't change is the truth. His banner no longer flies. His house is gone. And you, overnight, you are nothing. A samurai without a master, a Ronin, a floating man. The word itself cuts deeper than any blade. Floating, untethered, adrift, without anchor. Your stipend vanishes. The land your family farmed under your daimyo's protection is seized. The villagers look through you now, as if your armor is just another costume. You wander. Other Ronin gather in tea houses and gambling dens. Some take to the theater stage, parodying the very bushido they once lived by. Others turn to banditry. A few become blades hired by the highest bidder, their honor pawned off for rice and coin. You tell yourself you are different. You will not shame your father's name, but hunger gnaws at your belly, the wars rage on and mercenary companies form overnight. You sign your name, take the coin, march again, fighting under banners that mean nothing to you. Each fight feels like betrayal. You serve strangers, spill blood from in your daimyo once called enemies. Men who maybe had been the ones who killed your father. You sharpen your sword, but every stroke scrapes at your soul. At night you still whisper the prayer. Forgive me, Father. Forgive me, my Lord. I fight because I must, not because I believe. You continue like this for 5 years. You're 27 now. Not like anybody is counting. Battle after battle from men you have no feeling for. Then the Battle of Sekigahara ends it. One battle and the age of endless war is over. Tokugawa Reisu rises. The land is bound in peace. And suddenly, the sword at your hip is more relic than necessity. The irony stings. You spent your life training for war, only to watch the world decide it no longer needs warriors. A sword doesn't plow a field. A katana doesn't weave cloth. Your calloused hands know only killing. So you drift into work that still requires steel. Merchants hire you to walk beside their caravans, to keep thieves at bay on the roads. It is coin, not honor, that buys your meals now. You fight men you once knew. Fellow Ronin, who chose banditry over starvation. Old comrades, now enemies. When your blade cuts them down, it feels less like victory and more like burial. Nights are the worst. In taverns, you drink alone. Farmers nod politely but keep their distance. To them, you are a reminder of the violence they wish to forget. You have no wife. Who would marry a man with no land, no master, no future, no children, no clan to carry your name? Just you, your sword, and the shame that clings heavier than armor. Peace fills the land, but not your heart. For you, peace is exile. A warrior without war. A samurai without purpose. 3 years you continue this routine. Bodyguard by day, drunkard by night. You hate yourself for it, but you tell yourself there's no other option for men like you. But word travels fast along the road. A name passes from mouth to mouth, whispered with awe and fear alike. Miyamoto Musashi, the undefeated duelist, a man who fights anyone, anywhere, and always walks away alive. You drink the stories like poison sake. Part of you smiles bitterly. Finally, a warrior worthy of the old ways. Another part of you aches with envy. He carries what you lost. Honor, reputation, purpose. In your darker moments, you dream of him finding you, of his sword ending your wandering, giving you the death of a true samurai, cut down in single combat, remembered as more than a drifter. No nameless grave, no forgotten bones, just steel, blood, and an ending worth telling. But when rumor reaches you that Musashi may indeed be coming for you, courage falters. You vanish into the alleys of a nameless town. Hide your swords beneath worn robes. The thought of facing him and failing without dignity crushes you with shame. You tell yourself you are not ready, but in truth, you are simply a fraud. Then news arrives of the 47 Ronin. Men you once fought beside, men who chose loyalty even after death claimed their lord. They avenged him knowing it would mean their own deaths. They went to the grave with honor unbroken, their names carved forever into memory. You stare into the fire that night. Haunted by their example, you remember your daimyo's face, the way his hand once rested on your shoulder. Most importantly, you remember your father, how he died with honor and the guilt burns hotter than the flames. You cannot change the past, but you can still choose your end. So you vow. No more hiding. You will meet Musashi. You will redeem yourself or die trying. So you return to the beginning, to the boy who first stumbled through stances in the dojo, the youth who bled on his blade during cleaning, the warrior who once believed in Bushido as if it were scripture. You strip yourself bare and start again, dawn after dawn. You swing until your arms ache. You run hills until your lungs burn. You sit in silence, meditating until the ghosts of your lord and comrades fill the room. Your body protests, joints stiff, scars screaming, but you force it into obedience. This is not training to live. This is training to die with honor. A year passes. You step into the open square of a town and announce your challenge. I wait for Musashi here. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Days pass, you remain kneeling beneath the sky, sharpening your blade, sharpening your resolve. And then, one morning, he arrives. Miyamoto Musashi. His presence is like thunder before the storm. He bows. You bow. No words needed. The duel begins. Then the silence breaks. Steel sings. You surge forward. Katana flashing arcs of silver in the morning sun. Sparks leap as your blade crashes against his. You fight not like a man clinging to life, but like one racing toward death. Each strike rattles your bones, but you push harder, forcing Musashi back a step. His eyes narrow, then he shifts, smooth, sudden, deadly. His counter splits the air, grazing your arm. Pain flares, but you roar, pressing on, each swing heavier than the last. One final clash. Your blade shatters, his blade finds your chest. Cold floods you, knees buckle. The world tilts. He holds you up, voice steady, words carved into eternity. If you weren't fighting to die, I would be the one laying here. Darkness swallows you. At last you have earned your ending. Not forgotten, not nameless, a samurai to the very last breath, like your father before you. They bury you where you fall. No shrine, no mourners. Time moves fast after your death. Too fast. The Sengoku chaos you were born into fades. Then, the Meiji Restoration wipes away everything you lived for. Samurai outlawed, swords banned. Bushido is reduced to bureaucracy and bedtime stories. The class you bled for becomes a myth. Kabuki actors play samurai with painted faces. Farmers with rifles take the battlefield. Your kind is gone. And you're not even a myth, just another man swallowed by the earth. Your name lives on only in Musashi's retelling, a line in his legend, a whisper among students. Who will never know your face?